Is Keeper set up to lose his one Ethereum bet on a 50K Bitcoin? And is FTX ready to revive? Question everything, trust nothing. Welcome to Debate Crypto. It's your boys, Keeper and Crusader, on a Wednesday. Crusader, what's up?
What's going on? Do it up.
I am ready to have a good day. Well, I've been having a decent day. It's cold and dreary. Actually, it's kind of warm. I said it's cold. It's actually warmer than it's been. We go in Ohio. If any of you are from Ohio or the Midwest, we go from approximately, 20 degrees back up to 8. Yesterday, I took my daughter to the park. It was 80 degrees. Today, back down to about 58. So, we just kind of jump all over the place. You South Floridians just live in the unbearable heat all the time.
Yeah, but it's been changing. It's been changing lately. We got some wind now.
Global warming.
Yeah, we got some wind now, so we are not dying in the heat.
I'm drinking the XRP Kool-Aid, by the way. Just letting you know in advance. XRP blue Kool-Aid.
That's right. That's the Kool-Aid that the XRP army is drinking.
Smash that like, fam, if you haven't already. Sign up to trade against the pros. Tomorrow is Thursday. Team Keeper needs to make a little bit of a comeback. We are behind currently. Crusaders team smashed it on Monday. Thankfully, a couple of my guys smashed it as well. It was just a smashing day. I believe a couple guys from Crusaders team are going to come on and try to shake things up tomorrow. And on Friday, word on the street, we're going to get full confirmation, but I think we're effectively confirmed. The first 1v1 Trading Wars. Should we announce who's going to be in it, or we want?
Yeah, we'll announce it tomorrow. Okay. At some point during the show of Trading Wars.
Okay, fantastic. Well, if you guys aren't already involved with Trading Wars, like I said, sign up, check that out. The link is in the description. We've got it pinned in the chat actually as well. We'd love to have you. I've had some big signups recently. Super excited to continue with that. And like we said, we got a lot of 1v1 stuff going on, possibly some tournament aspirations. We got some good stuff coming. So make sure that you guys are paying attention to that. Let me jump into the chat, see who is first. Man, not a surprise. Green Day Profits. Good to see you, brother. He has a good reminder for everybody. It says, what's up, fam? Smash the like and the subscribe button and the bell notification. Make sure to hit that. Shout out to you, brother. Crypto Chef in the house. Crypto Steve-O. Patriot Caveman apparently has been blowing up his account over on ZOOMEX. But hey, listen, you're in the game, and that means you have an opportunity. So don't forget that. My coaches used to tell me that when we were getting beat up on. FU in the house. Part of the DCA fam. Good to see you, bro. DJ Snowcone. That's a new one. I have not seen that one. That's a good name, DJ Snowcone. And yeah, that's about it in the chat. So thank you guys for being here. As always, we stream Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. On Mondays and Thursdays, though, it is at 2:45 because we do a little bit of 15-minute pre-planning game warm-up for
more like 5-10 minutes.
Well, yeah.
We're always running late, but it's worth it.
Did you see in the comments now twice, probably the same person or somebody else telling someone else's joke, delete crypto? And then, yeah. and it's usually not our fault, just to be clear, not that it matters. But then, we have Ben.
We work with high level talent.
That's right. They got to be coddled, right? We got big players on here. Ben's on my team, and immediately the chat when we were late last Thursday, like, no wonder because he's taking after Ben. You know what I mean? Ben always used to be late. They would give him hell on his live stream. I think that has changed as of recently, but yeah. So come on over, have some fun. We're looking forward to that. Let's take a look at the markets and see what's happening. I think things have settled down a little bit, but still looking good. The global crypto market cap is at 1.24 trillion with the T dollars. That's up 5.91%. What's popping off, bro? How are we up almost 6%? I got to see this. I got to look at this.
Bro, look at that.
Bitcoin's up 2.8.
22% on the week, bro.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying on the daily, usually this number right here is usually just about in tune with Bitcoin, and it's not. So something else has been ripping. ETH's only up a little bit. So where is all this coming from? Solana's up 7%. That helps for sure. One of the bigger market caps. Dogecoin up about 3%.
Look on the 24 hours. See what the biggest gainers are.
Well, let's see here. Pepe.
There it is.
Come on, bro. Pepe. Oh, Pepe is carrying the market. Number 91. Dude.
81% the week, bro.
Doesn't even count.
Chainlink is up 51% of the week. That's insane.
Let's talk about it.
Up 20%. Those are big moves.
What would happen if we stepped in and burnt 1 million Bitcoin? Come on, bro.
Well, I would definitely say there'd be a pump incoming.
It would definitely be a pump. There is no doubt about it, which is exactly what happened if you didn't see the stream yesterday. Pepe burnt like 7 trillion coins or something of that nature. So, got to expect a pump from that. But yeah, that's the overall markets. Crusader, do you want to pop off any TA today, or are we going to skip that?
Yeah, I got a little bit of TA for ETH. Making a little bit of a move right now. I'm actually looking right here.
Crypto Chef said Jerome Powell's meeting at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 weeks in a row. Very rare. Yeah, we're going to talk about actually some government stuff today as well. So stick around. We've got some good news. We're going to talk about the SEC. We've got some stuff happening over in Nigeria. 50K Bitcoin possibly incoming, and Keeper's going to lose his shirt on that ETH bet that I have. We'll find out. Hey,
ETH got rejected at 1813. Could not hold this April range that's about at 1800 flat. We lost that. Tried to make a break for it today. We lost it. This is the 15-minute chart. Well, this is the 3-minute chart actually. We lost it, and now we've been ranging. We've literally been ranging all day. As you can see, this is the beginning of the day yesterday at 8 o'clock.
Look at you moving over to the crackhead charts. You're not quite there yet. You're not quite Jason Casper.
I'm not going to be looking at that kind of level stuff, but just so you guys can see here, 15 minutes, right? We literally have been ranging between the March range as value area high being held as support, and then the resistance of the March value area low as resistance. We tried to break above it. We couldn't hold it. We broke back down. And here we are once again, just ranging between these two massive ranges from earlier in the year. So when Ethereum decides, which is really going to be dependent on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin has also been kind of going back and forth, not being able to hold 35,000, but not losing 34,000 either, and just ranging back and forth. Whenever that is decided, we'll see if we're breaking to the upside or the downside. But this is normal, right? To expect some level of sideways consolidation,
of course,
after the massive moves that we had. Look at these daily green candles. Look at these daily green. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight days of nothing but green.
That deserves
7 straight days
for sure. Yeah, somebody asked in the chat, I want to pull this up real quick, said what happened to, here you go, right here, DJ Snowcone, actually. Shout out to the cool name, like I said. Ethereum lagging behind. What happened to the supply becoming deflationary? I want to answer that. Ethereum always lags behind. Well, say that again?
It's inflationary right now.
Yeah. So first part, I guess I'll let you answer the second part then. The first part of it is ETH always lags behind. You may or may not have known that. For those of you that are maybe newer to the crypto space, effectively what will happen is you will see Bitcoin move. It will make a night. Let's just say Bitcoin makes a 10% move. You'll see ETH make maybe like a 3% move. And then lagging behind maybe the next day, maybe a certain number of hours, but it always does this. Then whoop. And then ETH will make its big move, which a lot of times is higher in percentage than Bitcoin just because of the sheer market cap of the asset. The other side of that being deflationary versus inflationary. Crusader, I'll kick it over to you.
Yeah, Ethereum's network has been obviously down. Not the network has been down, but the activity on the network has been down, which has caused it to become inflationary once again. But as we see the activity pick back up throughout the bull market, we will see Ethereum become deflationary once again. So that's what's happening there. And Ethereum, sometimes I know people have seen it like lead the market, right? That usually comes after Bitcoin starts going sideways and consolidating. After a big move, then you get these altcoin seasons, right? They're short-term movements where the altcoins are ripping and Bitcoin's really not doing too much. That's more seen in the bull run, rarely seen in the bear market. We have seen it before, but it's not one of those things you see very common.
Yeah,
don't expect that to be the occurrence here. Expect especially with all the attention of the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF stuff. that's where the attention is. That's where the market is going to, Bitcoin is going to be leading the market here in this bear market into the bull market.
Yeah, for sure. CVO in the house. Shout out to CVO. CVO says, "Don't worry about ETH. She'll pull up." And CVO's got some, man. Listen, him and Magic have been on point on some freaking targets recently. Like within a day and within a few dollars. It's been freaking impressive. They have turned me into a believer in TA. I'm telling you.
100%. We were talking on Saturday, right? I jumped into my trade. When I was talking to CVO, I jumped into my trade, jumped out. I think it was Tuesday afternoon or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I jumped out and up 50% on my trade. It did go higher after I jumped out. It still ran all the way up to like 18 something, right? 1850. I jumped out around like 1760 something.
You didn't sell the top. You're not a real trader.
Yeah, I know, right? But nonetheless, I made 50% on it. It was a great trade. So it was a great heads up from CVO, and just they've just been killing it.
Yeah, and they've got if you guys are looking for a really good trading group, they've got a really good trading group as well. I believe that's on Discord. They're on Discord doing their trading group, right?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so you can check them out as well. We'll have their links and stuff in the description for tomorrow's show for sure. If you guys want to check them out, they've been really on point on a lot of things. So, hey, if you like to learn how to trade and want to look at time frames, volume, basically there's a lot of basic stuff, and then there's a lot of really deep stuff, like depending on how far you want to go with it. But they've definitely done a really nice job with making some really good calls. So check them out. All right, so let's dive into the articles. Let's start off with ETH. I mean, you know what? Why not? We're talking about ETH right now. I guess I'll start there. ETH is and has been my girl. It is my largest holding. I like to talk about her. She's been very good to me. And the whales, the activity hits a 6-month high. Definitely love the ad below here. This is actually why I picked the article.
You've been watching.
This is why I picked the article. I got sidetracked. I didn't even know it was about Ethereum. I was looking at my other girlfriend down here in the ad there. All right, so as bullish sentiment returned to the wider crypto markets, so did fear of missing out, also known as FOMO, among the holders of the sector. What'd you say?
Zoom.
Zoom. There we go. Among holders of the sector's most prominent assets, particularly ETH, which has recorded the highest amount of whale transactions in the last 6 months. Indeed, Ethereum whale transactions specifically, those above 100K, have skyrocketed to a 6-month high, while the supply of ETH on exchanges has hit a record low since its genesis in 2015, according to the data shared by blockchain analytics platform Sentiment. Bro, a $100,000 transaction on ETH is what they're considering whale moves, right? And the supply on the exchanges is the lowest it's been since ETH was created, so 8 years ago. I call that a setup for an absolute move. What do you think?
Yeah, man. It's bear market times, right? So 100K is a lot in the bear market for whales to be accumulating. Did they say when this accumulation was happening? This accumulation happening at 1800 is like at the prices we're at now, or was that like a few weeks ago before the actual pump happened? But regardless, we had some news about a week or so ago about whales dumping Ethereum. Long term, they're always going to accumulate. Bitcoin and ETH are always going to be where the whales go for long-term accumulation because they're the safest cryptos, right? Safest crypto, I put up in quotations, in the crypto space. Those are the big dogs. So I'm not worried about Ethereum long-term, whether we drop here, right? Even if Bitcoin crashes and Ethereum crash and we drop to $1,000 ETH, I will welcome that any day. I wouldn't be thought about Ethereum at all.
It actually says that the transactions valued at 100K and higher reached 6,049 on October 24th, which I think was like yesterday. And as you move farther into the article, it talks about Bitcoin, Cardano, and DAI have massive increases in whale activity themselves. I mean, let's call it what it is, right? The whale activity is happening. My wife's hair looks beautiful. Shout out to my wife. She just got back from the hairdresser. Just cost me probably about a Bitcoin to get her hair done, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? If you've ever paid for any women's hair, it's freaking expensive. All right. But yeah, so sorry, I got sidetracked there. Squirrel. The people are setting up and getting ready for this run. They're looking at the fact that we have these massive opportunities with the ETF combined with, and really there's three things that I see that really set up nicely. Everybody's thinking about the ETF. Everybody's thinking about the halvening. And we haven't heard a lot about it recently, but in the past, now we're in an election year as well. So those three, and they want markets to look good. And you can say they hate the crypto markets, this, that, and the third. The reality is, if they're trying to push the stock market up, that gives people extra money, extra liquidity to go into higher risk on assets, which means that as a general rule, you're going to see more money going into crypto as well. And so that is a 1, 2, 3 knockout punch, stating that we should or very likely could see just some huge movement. And so people that do have extra money in larger amounts are saying, hey, I'm getting ready now. I'm buying a $34,000 Bitcoin. I'm not buying a $44,000 Bitcoin, right? I'm loading up now. I'm buying a $1,600, $1,700, $1,800, $1,900 ETH. I'm not buying a $3,000 ETH.
Yeah, dude. I just want to tell people, if you guys haven't smashed those likes, smash the like, get ready and get excited, because tomorrow, Thursday, 2:45 p.m. Eastern time, Trading Wars is back, baby. So get excited for that. Don't miss out. And to reply to what you were saying, I 100% agree, right? I made a short talking about the bears waiting for the 12K Bitcoin, right? People are learning, once again, like always, two things. One, they forget how massively Bitcoin can move in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Right? We forget about that in the bear market. Oh, we moved only up 500, $1,000. Well, we moved 13% in one day like it was nothing, right? Cut through 30K like if it was butter. And we'll see that again multiple times as the bear market kicks off. We'll see a lot of more aggressive moves happening. And two, it's that sentiment of, oh, I'll just wait a little bit longer. You never know when the bottom is going to happen, and you never know when the top's going to happen. So that thing about waiting for a little bit more gains is a mistake, right? And that moment of waiting for a little bit lower action so I can buy a little bit more at lower prices is also a mistake. A lot of people didn't buy at 15 or 20 because they still thought we were going to 10. People weren't buying at 28 or 27 because they were thinking we are going back to 19. Now we're at 34, 35. Some people won't buy, right? Because this is a local top right now. Not telling you to buy, but some people will still think, I won't buy now because I'll keep waiting. Who knows? Tomorrow the ETF gets approved and we skyrocket to 50,000. Then you're like, man, I'm an idiot. I should have been buying at 35,000. 35,000 sounds great right now. But that's always the problem. So I just want to remind everyone, be patient and don't be greedy, and just take advantage of the opportunity presented to you in the moment. Stop waiting about what's going to happen tomorrow.
What a transition for a combination of a chat and something I actually have pulled up. All three things happen independently of each other. Let me hit this. So you said, be patient, don't be greedy. Parth says, we're going to enter extreme greed, that realm, very soon. Wait for the drops before taking entries right now. It might get stuck for a long time right now. Okay. That's one thought process, right? So then I was thinking, I was like, okay, yeah. So I don't disagree with that. However, at the same time, it depends on what type of an investor you are. If this is a 10-year game plan for you, the difference between waiting right now and us dropping to 32 is going to be inconsequential, right? Now, if you think we've got a huge drop coming, you're convicted of that, you've been in these markets a long time, you have evidence to show and support that. Okay, yeah, it can make some sense, but don't get caught up, like Crusader said, in the idea that I just got to wait a little longer, because a lot of times it doesn't happen. And that's why we talk about the boring strategy of dollar cost averaging. But this is what I was going to pull up. We're at 67 right now as it relates to greed. How high you think that thing's going to get? Dude, if you just had to guess, and again, we're just totally
markets. We've seen that thing up in the 90s.
We've seen that thing in the 90s, bro.
And you're like,
and hanging there. Just, I mean, it's like freaking just gassing it, bro.
So we're gonna crash, and that thing just keeps ripping, and we're like, we're 92, still ripping.
Yeah,
right. So it's one of those things.
One of the things I've never looked into, and maybe somebody in the chat knows this, or maybe you know this, Crusader, the fear and greed index. I think that it's valuing effectively how much people are currently like effectively bullish on the overall market, dumping money in. But my question is, does the greed index stay at 90 if everyone is shorting the hell out of the market and just bringing in money hand over fist, right? The market is absolutely dumping. going the other way. I've never thought about this. I was just thinking about it now.
No, it doesn't. It's a fear thing. It's literally
It's just
exactly what it is.
literally,
Are
hey,
you
I'm
bullish?
scared the
Are you
markets are
bearish?
going down.
Yeah,
I'm greedy. The markets are going up. I'm okay.
yeah.
I was wondering if they actually calculated that as well. If just tons of people were eating up
That'd
profit
be
on the way
wild.
down,
The market's dumping like 50%,
dumping,
and
and
it's
it's
like
like
green at 90, at
85%.
90. People just getting wrecked.
People getting wrecked left and right, but the big players are just absolutely gobbling up all your exit. You are their exit liquidity, and the greed is high. Yeah, definitely, that would be an interesting thing. Smash the like if you haven't already. Again, Trading Wars guys, we keep reminding you because listen, we get somewhere between 50 and 100 people in our live streams pretty regularly, our normal live streams. We've had over 500 people in all of the live streams for Trading Wars. So obviously you guys like what's going on, and we want to continue to extend that. Like we said, as a reminder, not only are we doing the team stuff, but we've also got a 1v1 that looks like it's coming on Friday. So you guys have to check that out as well. We've got some big plans for that. Like I said, some tournament stuff, but we also have, I'm just going to say, maybe some gambling opportunities for those of you that maybe maybe, I don't know. We got some ideas out here. Maybe you can make some money even if you don't want to trade. I don't know. So we're going to have fun with it, guys. As always, we want to be entertaining, but we also want to educate you at the same time. All right, let's jump in and talk about your best friend, Crusader. No, it's not the XRP army. It is your second best friend, I should say, Gary Gensler. SEC's Gensler stays true to form, uses Wednesday's speech to say crypto's full of fraud, scams, bankruptcies, and money laundering. Look at this goon. All right. Gary Gensler standing firm by his long-held view that many cryptocurrencies are subject to existing securities laws despite pushback from the industry. He says there is nothing about crypto asset securities markets to suggest that investors and issuers are less deserving of the protections of our securities laws. Congress could have said in 1933 or 1934 that the securities laws applied to only stocks and bonds, yet Congress included a long list of items in the definition of a security, including investment contract. Crusader, how do you think this is going to play? So we don't need to dive in. We know Gary Gensler is absolutely, for whatever reason, either being paid by the banks. He is subject to, bowing down to what the government, the narrative that they want him to push. I think we all believe and know that. How do you think that? So we've got, I don't even know what the number is. Hold on. Let me look at CoinMarketCap. How many cryptos
Like
do we have?
20,000.
No, it's way beyond that now. Hold on. It's a freaking huge number beyond that now. Where is it? 1.8 million. Okay.
1.8 million cryptos?
Yes. Yeah. So I looked at that recently. It's 1.8 million. Remember when it was like 20,000, 15 months ago, maybe something like that? It wasn't that long ago.
1.8 million cryptos?
1.8 million. And it's because of all these freaking meme coins that were being spun up and just they're just there. They're on the blockchain, right?
Man, can you from 20,000 to 1.8 million meme coins?
Yeah, dude. Well, think about it. Remember the little scan when we were trading the meme coins? Remember the little scanning website that I was using to show when new contracts were popping off and playing around with that? Dude, it was boom, 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 boom. Like these contracts were just coming one after that. And I was only looking on the Ethereum. I wasn't even looking at Binance and some of the other networks. My point is, or my question that I want to address is, do you think that a massive majority of these are going to be considered securities, or do you think that they're going to bundle together a lot of these crypto assets and make them their own thing? Whatever that looks like, whether they're going to consider them commodities, whether they're going to have their own asset class altogether. Do you like, how do you view kind of what's your speculation on what you think they're going to do? Because the reality is, like I told you guys before, my dad is an attorney and started off as a securities attorney. And when we did a debate one time, a long time ago, I like prepped for the debate with him, and he legitimately was like, listen, this passes the test. These are freaking securities, and walked it through. And I was like, damn, like that makes a whole lot of sense hearing it from a lawyer as to how these could be. So how do you think this will play out?
Yeah, I don't think they can go after 1.8 million different cryptocurrencies.
I don't think they're interested in doing that.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. They're just going to start throwing some blanket statement or laws out there to make certain people not scared, right? They'll probably make an example out of a few of them if they can. If they can ever get a win, they haven't so far, but they'll I think at the end of the term, like we mentioned the other day on the show, talking about categorizing things into like the metaverse index or the layer 2 index.
Mhm.
And once they have a true understanding of what a layer 2 is, what is a metaverse token or whatever, and they have certain guidelines on how a token can be created and funded. I
Mhm.
think from there on, they're gonna start looking out for anyone. I think they're just going to grandfather in the people that have done the things that they have done. Maybe they'll make a few examples of a few of them that are big enough to go after. And if they can win, they'll do it to scare some people and then just say, hey, moving on
Moving forward.
forward after this day, you can no longer do this. If you catch you launching an ICO and fundraising
Yeah.
money and doing these things, we're going to crack the hammer on you.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it's going to play out.
That's funny. I was thinking kind of the same thing. It's too much of a workload for them to effectively
So
look
slow.
back.
It's so slow.
Yeah, and the government moves slow anyway. So, are there probably money opportunities there for them? Sure, but also along the way, they're going to waste so much time, and time is money going after, something, some of which will fight them and have the
Talking about
ability to
money.
fight them.
Did you hear? I don't know if this is true or not, but did you hear that the SEC is fining BlackRock for not disclosing investments?
Hmm?
And it's like a $2.5 million fine.
$2.5 million, they'd probably wipe their butt with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if that is true, right? If BlackRock really didn't disclose certain things, maybe their Bitcoin accumulation, right? They didn't disclose that
Right.
for the ETF, and they are getting fined. It's like that's a perfect example of how big players do things illegally, right? They don't ask for permission, they
That's for
ask for
forgiveness.
forgiveness, and then they just pay the fines at the end, and they just keep on moving forward, and it's just clean business. And it's just the way the SEC can get a paycheck and make it seem like they're protecting investors, and they ain't
Mhm.
doing jack squatty dot nothing.
Yeah, I look forward to though the time when, and some of it might be hard on the crypto space, but it will be nice to, we've talked about a lot of different ideas in the crypto space over the time that we've been in. And thank you, Billy. We love you, brother. We've talked about a lot of different ideas, and every time it's like the phone call to dad. It's like, hey, can we do this? And he's like, you're flirting with securities laws here, right? But when we have just a straight up, just boom, boom, boom. Here's what you can do. Here's what you can't do. Here's how you can raise money. Here's how you can't raise money. This qualifies. This doesn't qualify. And they're able to literally take it from gray to black and white for the most part. God, it will be a beautiful thing. And I think overall, like I said, there's going to be some parts of it that are going to suck, but there's also going to be some really good things overall, because that clarity just allows people to then innovate. It allows people to grow. It allows them to be able to build. It allows the conversations that you and I have to be able to say, oh, well, does this, well, here's the rules. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that, as opposed to,
Yeah.
throwing it up in the air and seeing what happens. Smash the like if you haven't already. We got about 63 people in here. Thank you guys all for being here. It's a Wednesday afternoon, and you could have been hanging out anywhere, so we appreciate you guys. Sign up. We've got the link for Trading Wars in the description.
That's
It's
right.
actually
You could
pinned
be
in the
hanging
chat.
anywhere else, but anywhere else sucks compared to here.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Anywhere else sucks. That's going to be our new motto. Hang out with Debate Crypto because everybody else sucks. And then we're like, hey guys, you want to come on Trading Wars because we got this great thing? Nope. I heard you guys' new motto. Apparently I suck, so I'm not interested in coming on your damn show. Okay. All right, cool. Moving on. So that's what's going on with the SEC. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, ho, ho.
Your mouse not working again?
It literally was a mouse issue for 2 seconds. We're not doing that again. Okay, got it back. Let's click over. You know what? There's some interesting things happening in Nigeria. We're always talking about money and worldwide. What's happening in the monetary system, not just here but other places, because it affects things, right? Nigeria's currency crisis leads to stablecoin surge, with Binance playing a key role in driving adoption. It says the popularity of stablecoins, particularly USDT, has soared in Nigeria amid the country's currency crisis. The Nigerian naira, I think is how you say that, has lost 65% of its value to the US dollar, leading households and businesses to turn to stablecoins and Bitcoin to preserve their wealth and facilitate payments. Binance, with its easy access to USDT and crypto, has played a key role in driving crypto adoption in Nigeria. Dude, think about it. Before crypto came around, and they're still doing this over there, the crisis with their money was so bad that they moved back to trading cell phone minutes as their currency. Like that was a normal thing. You could go into a store and buy something and trade with the store owner cell phone minutes. That's a problem, right? Now enter crypto, and you have this beautiful thing where with stable coins, assuming that they're doing what they say they're doing, and Tether's had some question marks, but overall it's been able to withstand the test of
Still
time.
standing.
Yeah, exactly. You have the ability to actually have a stable currency. Why would they not do this? And this is part of the reason why I think the threat is there to some, especially some of these smaller economies. People say, oh, it's not a threat to the US economy because it's so big and we're so powerful, so robust. But when you look at some smaller economies, it absolutely could be. When you have a currency that's already debased by 65% versus the US dollar, then you introduce something to fix it that is not controlled by their own government. You have to look at that as a threat because they want you to use their currency, even though it's debased to hell and back. You know what I mean? I think that it's a solution, but it's got to be a scary thing for the government to have to deal with.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a problem, right? The biggest thing is that yes, it's a small economy, right? Maybe they adopt some cryptocurrency, whatever it is, Bitcoin, whatever, but it starts to spread, right? There's other smaller economies around there, and they're like, oh, this thing's working for these people. All right, I'm gonna start doing that, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Then you have a whole continent that is all in a certain cryptocurrency, whatever that is, and they're not in the US dollar, right? And they're like, why are these entire continent not in the US dollar anymore? How are we going to sanction them? How are we going to control them? How are we going to do trade with them? All these things that affects the power of the United States. Right? We've seen it a little bit with El Salvador and Bitcoin. No matter what the IMF says to them, they're like, no, we're not backing off Bitcoin. And there's a lot of other countries in South America. You don't hear about it now throughout the bear market, but I'm sure you'll hear a lot of it when the bull market kicks off again. Panama and a few other countries, Costa Rica and other economies around there are all trying to figure out legislation, figure out ways that they can also start incorporating Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies into their legal tender situation over there in those countries. So it's a slow spreading thing, but when it takes hold, it can spiral out of control very quickly.
I also think that the government, if they know that they're in that position, could put themselves into a better position by recognizing on the front end that people are going to move in this direction and do what the US government has done. And that's steal everybody else's Bitcoin, which is effectively how we've amassed most of ours. I mean, that's definitely the way to go, right? Like, you just steal everybody else's stuff and
It's
hold
free.
that.
It's OTC. It doesn't move prices. It's great.
Yeah, for sure. So, I guess ultimately what we're saying is that crypto is solving problems worldwide, and we're seeing it more and more and more and more. And I remember stablecoins only coming out a few years ago when the idea first got introduced. I was kind of confused. I was like, well, what's kind of the point of this? I didn't truly understand the value there. And I've had other people ask me that. And here's a great example of how it can be used just in everyday life, where you have an economy that is just full on struggling, more than just having that dry powder that we like on the side sitting on our MetaMask or sitting in some wallet somewhere where we can just boom go straight from USDT to ETH or Bitcoin or whatever. Struggling economies, and people can use this. And as it gets more and more popular, guys, everybody's got a cell phone. A lot of people I don't transact crypto on my cell phone, but a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? Like, Crusader, you and I are together. We're getting ready to go do something. Boom, pay you in USDT. Done.
Yeah, man.
It solves a lot of problems. So,
Dude, shout out to Crypto Billy being a member of the show for the last 9 months throughout this entire bear market, supporting Debate Crypto. Shout out to you, Billy. He's also a mod here. Everybody, dude, you need to come on the show one day, and we need to have a chat. Great having you part of our community, man.
For sure. And been part of the DCA fam and all of it. So it's been around for a while. So we appreciate you, brother. All right, cool. So moving on. So we've talked about stablecoins. We've talked about the SEC. We've talked about what Ethereum's
Before
doing.
we jump on, continue. We actually had a poll out there for people saying, is Bitcoin going to break 50K before the halving?
What do we got? What do most people think?
60% of people, where a total of 50 votes, 60% of people said no. 40% of people said yes.
Yeah.
Bitcoin could break that.
That's how it was when I made the bet with Bleaves over on Ben's show.
But how's that
same.
working out? You're
Bro.
sweating over there?
You can't sit at 34K and ask how that's working out. It
Well,
moves
it's very
down
easy to
just
make
as
a-
fast
it's
as it
very
moves
easy to
up.
make a bet saying, yeah, it's not gonna break it at 25, and now you're seeing yourself at 35. You're like, damn.
I wasn't at 25. It was like at 28.
35K in a few days. Well, we still got a long way before that happening. Oh,
You know,
holy smokes.
The good news is I'm always sweating, so I just continued to make me sweat even more for sure. Now, you know what? I've said this before. The bet,
Super cycle, baby. Super cycle's coming. That 50K is gonna break before
listen,
that happens.
if that happens, and then now hold on, let me put a caveat on there. If that happens and then we continue, no, and then we continue from there. Like obviously we're gonna have pullbacks, right? But if the overall move goes to 50K before the halving, and we have some pullbacks here and there, or whatever, but not some huge 40% pullback or anything like that. If that happens, I'll be more than happy to give him 1 ETH, because the reality is we're going to probably see some real high numbers if we get to it that quickly and continue to progress forward.
Why does it matter what the price is? An ETH is an ETH, whether it's at $1,000 or it's at $5,000.
That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying that long term, I believe that we are going to get so much higher if we are able to make up that much ground and be that bullish before we ever even get to the halving. That's all.
ETF approval, baby. ETF approval.
Yeah.
January 10th is the deadline for Grayscale.
Well, we're gonna have lots of clips of me either being wrong or me being right. And
we will see.
We shall see. But trust me, if I'm right, I'm pulling them. I'm pulling them. If I'm wrong, they might get deleted from YouTube. Things happen, guys. Okay. You know, it happens. Sometimes you just lose content. I don't know what happened. Now, smash that like, guys. Jump into Trading Wars if you're not already.
Yeah. Billy says we will see 30K before 50.
Oh, I agree with that.
Oh, yeah. Very possible we can have a pullback.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Retest that. We definitely got to hold above that 32,000, right? We can wick down to 30 or whatever, but we need to stay above that 32.
If we see like 28.8, I think is the number, or somewhere around there, and start retesting that as
if we start closing down,
support,
closing down there, it's not going to be good.
We might be meeting that 20K CME gap. That could be.
I don't know, man. According to some experts that we know, that 20K is
invalidated.
That's invalidated right now. Yeah. Ain't no way we're going back down there. I mean, I don't
somebody
know.
Was at somebody in the
32. Yeah. Get rid of that short. It's gonna run.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. I still have a short actually sitting on the exchange ready to rock. We'll find out if that plays out. So again, guys, smash that like, jump in. Trading Wars tomorrow, Thursday. You know what time it is, 2:45 p.m. Team Keeper trying to redeem themselves from last week. We had 2 of our guys on Monday that did well. Crusaders team's been doing nothing but killing it. So we got to come back and make this interesting. And we will continue to update the leaderboard. We've been doing that in the background with ZOOMEX, and they are going to be putting up the leaderboard also for the people that are going against all the traders.
A moment of silence for Team Keeper.
You feel how good that silence. You know what? When I win, I like to just soak it in. So, you know what? Have your fun now, because the pain is coming. All right, cool. Let's move on. Let's talk FTX. This is the most ridiculous idea to me in the world, and I have a strong opinion on this, and I want to hear what your thoughts are on it, Crusader. FTX trading in talks with 3 bidders to revive the bankrupt crypto exchange. FTX Trading Ltd is considering proposals from 3 bidders to restart its crypto exchange, which was one of the largest in the world before the company went bankrupt. The company will make a decision by mid-December and is currently negotiating details with potential investors. Options include selling the entire exchange, bringing in a partner, or rebooting the platform on its own. So, chat, for those of you that are maybe, I don't know, around my age or older, who thinks it's a good idea to revive Enron? Like, ultimately, what's happening here is you have a massive scandal. For those of you who don't know, Enron was an energy company that absolutely defrauded investors for tens of billions of dollars. I think it was somewhere around 60 something billion. It was a massive, massive number.
Oh yeah.
And why do you, Crusader, do you think that it's a good, like, who wants to carry that? That's what I don't understand. Like, wipe the name. Listen, if you want, if there's some
so
stuff going on in the background that makes sense
Rebrand.
fundamentally business wise, that's already structured and set up, and like, you know, all of that, fine. But rebrand, bro. What are we trying to do here? Hey,
Yeah,
we're not the same FTX anymore. Come on, guys, jump on in. Like, that sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, there was an issue with like one employee did some illegal stuff, right? They got someone in trouble. Okay, you know, whatever. We'll keep moving forward. Kind of like Cointelegraph and their intern and all the fake news about the BlackRock thing. Right? They're not gonna rebrand or shut down the company because they had one bad employee do something. They made them look bad. Right, same thing. But when the CEO comes out and FTX was an entire Ponzi scheme, and they were sending money to Alameda, and they were doing all kinds of illegal stuff and paying off of politicians and left and right, everything you can possibly think of, they were doing, right? Including sipping some Kool-Aid in those private pool parties. You know, why stick with the name FTX? Who's gonna want to be a sponsor of FTX? Who's gonna want to pay? Well, even get paid to do a sponsorship, anything with FTX. Maybe Kevin O'Leary, right? Maybe he's the only guy out there defending them. But outside of him, I don't see anybody wanting to carry that name along with their brand, with their companies. Just rebrand, convert it to something else, and people won't even know that's the same company, same people, just different name. That would be a better strategy than, yeah, FTX is back, baby. Like,
yeah, we're back, baby. Like, think about how hesitant anybody, if you say FTX to anybody that's even heard of crypto, they're going to be like, not touching it with a 10-foot pole. New people coming in, maybe, but why take the investors that know the crypto game, that understand what happened, that have seen it, and even expose them to the name FTX? It's like, it's brought nothing but absolute chaos into people's lives. We interviewed people down in the Bahamas that literally lost their life savings because of this. And now let's pour a little more salt in the wound. Let's revive the company. Let's just put somebody else. Listen, it was just the management, okay? The management. But the reality is, optics are reality. And when you see the name of a company that did all of the chaos and just buffoonery that they did and stole so much money from people and hurt so many people, I have to hope that they're just not giving us that information in the article, and that they're really going to do what we're saying. Like, okay, they're going to use some internal parts of FTX, but they're not.
Yeah, they're
going to
keep the company,
FTX.
just rebrand the names and rebrand the marketing and all that stuff. There's a great comment, by the way. It says the only thing crazier than thinking anyone will drop FTX is thinking Keeper can win trading wars.
Hold on a second. How do we block people on here? Isn't there a way I can do that
deserves
for you?
A nice round of applause.
Ouch. Burn, bro. Burn. Here, let me take that comment off for you. There you go. Yeah, shout out to you, Crypto Pollo. That was funny. It was good.
That's
but
legit. That's a legit.
We will have Team Keeper.
World.
Team Keeper will have the last laugh. So you shall
Maybe
find
in
out.
the future season, but not in season one.
You shall find out. You've had two trading,
the
two most bullish days in months your team has had to trade. Just to be clear.
Hey,
okay.
They were invited. They didn't show up. That's their loss.
Everybody's invited. Come on in. Yeah, no, it's been fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to jump on from your team tomorrow. So if anybody from the teams are on in the chat right now,
I hope they jump on. Realistically, my team can go on vacation for the next 2 weeks, and your team still might not catch up.
Soak it up, bro. Keep yapping. We're down like a couple percent. Okay, don't forget. Flopping and groping. Who was it that was saying that the other day? Flopping and groping.
I think it was Jason.
Jason. Yeah, Jason. He's a good trader. He's
a savage, bro. Savage.
He is solid for sure. All right, so FTX, bad idea. Let's talk about a 50K Bitcoin. And actually, the article doesn't say 50. It says 42, but 50 felt better, okay? Looked better on a thumbnail. So
42, 50.
42, 50, big difference. Well, the difference could be about one Ethereum in Keeper's pocket. $42,000 Bitcoin target is preordained, according to economist Alex Kruger. Here's why. So Alex Kruger believes that Bitcoin is preordained to hit 42K due to one possible event. I'll give you guys one freaking guess what he thinks it is. Their financial advisory firm, Asgard Markets, the king crypto, will likely soar by more than 24% from its current value by the time a possible spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund ETF launches. They also say that a massive Bitcoin rally is expected on the day that the SEC may approve that spot Bitcoin ETF, which they anticipate happening in January 2024. Here's what they say. Our view has been that the ETF is quasi-guaranteed, and the SEC would have it approved by January 10th, in January itself to be precise. We had also been expecting the market to front-run the approval by about a month and a half, but animal spirits have decided to start running now. Given last week's large move, we think the Bitcoin consolidating for a few days in the 30 to 32 range before the continuation just makes sense. Any dips into 29s are for buying. We also think that the day the ETF gets approved, the market will see a 20+% move intraday. We see Bitcoin hitting 42K by the time the ETF launches. They noted that 42K is a key Fibonacci retracement level and also proved a key level during China's 2021 announced crypto ban. So apparently there is a lot going on at that 42K level, which is part of why they're talking about this. So much is riding on this ETF announcement. I'm going to be interested to see, because there's two different schools of thought here. I've heard a lot of people say, yes, we're going to get one huge pump, but then we're going to see more of steady markets move. Now, the bull run's still going to do what the bull run's going to do. But from the liquidity coming in from the ETFs, hold on. Hear me. I'm saying on the front end, you will see a big surge. I believe that. Then I'm curious to see whether that continuous money that's just coming in, maybe in large amounts, but just at a steady rate, that's sitting there, right? Like they have to actually hold that Bitcoin for the fund. And so they're continuously buying it and they have to hold it. So now you're just taking more and more and more and more off of exchanges to sit there to back these ETFs. Bro, how much more bullish can it really get? Now you're talking about stuff that's not going to get freaking sold either, or at least
and on top of that happening, less Bitcoin being produced by the miners. But look,
because they can't even leverage that Bitcoin, right? I believe they have to actually physically hold the Bitcoin. I don't think they can leverage it. I don't think they can do anything with it, but sit on it.
Yeah, I think it's for auditing purposes and all kinds of stuff.
I think so too.
But I think the people that try to predict how the market's going to behave after the ETF is approved, it's got a little bit of nonsense. We've seen Bitcoin do ridiculous numbers solely off retail hype, speculation, with no true traditional finance money in the background. Introduce Bitcoin ETFs on top of that. I think, saying, oh, we're going to have a massive inflow and then things are going to kind of settle down. Well, maybe if we have a $500,000 Bitcoin, maybe we have a 250K plus Bitcoin, maybe you can say things are going to settle down at that point. But I just think with the amount of massive retail hype that's going to be created, that's taken Bitcoin all the way to 69,000 twice. And on top of that, now we're putting in traditional finance money, opening the doors up to multi-millionaire billionaires, setting up their pension funds, their 401ks, whatever it is, major companies like MicroStrategy buying up Bitcoin, placing it in their balance sheets. I think we're going to see a lot more companies do that throughout the bull market, not just MicroStrategy. And, we will probably see a few other countries adopt Bitcoin like we've seen El Salvador do. I mean, the last bull run was just a fragment of what we're going to see in this bull run. So to speculate and think that it isn't going to be a massively wild ride that we've never seen before, right? Things rhyme, but they don't repeat exactly. So I think we've been very conservative, which is why I think I've been saying a lot this bull run, this bear market, that there's going to be a super cycle.
It's going to be huge.
There's never going to be a super cycle for blast off time, crazy price discovery, right? Whether we come back at some point, settle down or whatever. This is the moment. Happening. Economical crisis, right? Possible money printing happening from the Federal Reserve. They have to pivot at some point. Freaking ETF approval, final regulations finally coming in from
economic instability worldwide is a selling point for Bitcoin, right? It is that hard money asset. Like there's a lot, dude. Let me hit a couple comments real quick. Check this out. So a couple of them, and they kind of go both ways here. So the only issue I have is Bitcoin ETF is Wall Street's, you know what, right? Those boys know how to move markets. I agree with that. I've talked about that. And I think that you are going to see some wild volatility during some of that movement and for that exact reason. So I agree with that. I also saw Richard Wright said, and I like this. Richard Wright said, in crypto, we're biased to the ability for them to buy only, but it will also give TradFi the ability to short it to the floor. And I do agree with that as well. Like there is a lot.
Been doing that with futures. That's the problem. They've already been doing that with futures, which makes it even easier for them to short and suppress price because they don't even have to hold it.
Because they don't even have to actually. They don't even actually have to hold
they're
it.
Doing derivatives and they're actually affecting price action.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about spot ETFs that
they have to
physically accumulate the Bitcoin.
They're probably just going to accumulate it from miners.
Yeah, and not just.
Wait till BlackRock starts calling us, bro. They're like, yo.
But it doesn't matter where they accumulate it from, even if it is OTC deals, right? From the miners, there's not going to be a massive inflow of Bitcoin onto exchanges. The Bitcoin on exchanges is going to be drying up. It's going to be less and less and less of it. So price will increase. And the way these ETFs work that has been explained to me, right? These are long-term plays for 401ks,
for sure.
pensions, right?
Sure.
Things that are long-term plays. I don't think any massive players is going to be shorting the spot ETF, right? Like I think that'd be a crazy move.
Shorting the announcement of it, you mean?
Well, not just the announcement, but buying the physical Bitcoin to then short it themselves. Like, why would they even do it? They would just keep that in the futures, right? They don't have to buy the Bitcoin and they can just short the Bitcoin anyway.
Short the price. Make a
ton of money. So why buy it physically to then just short it?
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So, there's a lot of different views on this. I think everybody agrees that even if we see some sort of a crazy black swan event, we're going to see some freaking price action out of Bitcoin that's going to be out of this world. I have a question for you. Do you think that we're going to land more towards 100K or 200K in this next bull run?
I've said it before. I think 150K is my conservative thought.
Don't go right in the middle on me.
No, I've said that's my conservative thought.
Yeah,
I've said that I believe 200K is very possible. Very possible. And I wouldn't be surprised if we go above 200K. I mean, dude, ETF super cycle theory, right? We're not just talking about the ETF, but in accumulation with all the other catalyst events.
Yeah.
If we hit a super cycle for real, we're breaking 4-year cycles. We're shooting off into the moon. Like it's gonna be a wild ride up. Not saying it's not gonna be a wild ride back down.
It'd be like a you know that it would be like a $4 trillion market cap for Bitcoin at that, right?
Yeah. But why is that even a big number? We're talking about these asset managers that are holding over $27 trillion easy.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Dumping some Bitcoin, jumping some money into Bitcoin there, and we saw what the spot ETF did for gold, right? And gold is trash compared to Bitcoin, so why not? Yeah. Why not see a $3 trillion, $4 trillion Bitcoin?
Yeah,
I don't think that's a.
You already know I'm rooting for it. I think everybody's rooting for it. Hey, before we end today, first of all, reminder: use the link in the chat for Trading Wars. Second of all, we're going to be doing some 1v1s. I think we've got one set up for Friday. We're not going to tell you who that is, but let me sprinkle a little dust on you for season 2. Let me just give you guys a little love on some of the names that are going to be on season 2. I'm not going to give you all of them, but I'm going to give you some of them. Frankie Candles. I saw the Candle Mafia is in the house. So boom. AJ writes crypto. People love AJ. AJ loves trading the crackhead timeframes too, so that'll be fun. Army Piper. Army has been freaking killing it with his trading over time. He's done very, very well, and he's a fellow veteran, so I love that. Crypto Zombie, bro, in the house, right? Bullish Trader. We've got also a couple people that I'll leave off, maybe 1, 2, couple people that are on this season. I think that might come back, haven't confirmed, but those are some new names. And then we got a couple in the hip pocket that are some really big names that we're waiting for a confirmed yes on as well. So listen, if you thought season 1 was big and that we were going to like step off the gas and end up, just kind of grabbing a few people here and there, no, we're continuing to go hard. And we are going to be bringing the biggest, best names on that you guys love to watch, or if you don't watch, you're going to start watching because they're fantastic. They all know how to trade. It is going to be epic, and we're going to continue just pressing forward. Everybody seems to love it, so we're super excited about that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Trading Wars will continue to be the best show in all of YouTube. Ain't nothing gonna top 9 of the best traders in the entire space, all trading in one show at the same time, live, competing against each other. Nothing's gonna beat that, and it's only gonna get better with time. The production value.
I was about to say that's something that we need to
Everything's
tell
gonna
people that we're
continue
working on.
ramping up. Like we're working in the background as we're getting sponsors, we're getting a little bit of money, we're being able to reinvest that money to make the show production value just extremely better. So just stay tuned. The bull market, right? 2024 is going to be an interesting one here in the big crypto.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be that, to say the least. And we're super excited to be able to, like Crusader said, be able to reinvest some of the things that we have coming into the show, because we not only want the show to be entertaining and have good people on, but, you know, some little things that we deal with, like, oh, blurry screen, or I can't see this as well, or maybe I can't move this person here or there, whatever. These are all little things that we can work out and are trying to really make this the best production for you as well, just to make it make it as interesting as possible. Go hard. Love it. You already know. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We love you guys. Some of you more than others. Whoever was talking trash earlier. No, Katie Cakes. Love that. No, it's been a great stream, dude. Anything else you want to leave us with?
No, man. Tomorrow, 2:45 Eastern time. Trading Wars is back, baby. Team Crusader is going to be invading Team Keeper space tomorrow and see if they got what it takes to be able to catch up to our team.
Yeah, well, bring it. We are excited. So we love you guys. You could have been anywhere today, but you're hanging out with Debate Crypto on a Wednesday. No matter where you are, if you're in the airport, if you are at home, whether you are at church, we love you. We're glad that you're here. Just remember, question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time.
Like it's out. Jeez, production value right there. We're gonna have to find. We're gonna have to upgrade Keeper.
We're gonna have to give my little chip in my brain. Let's try this one more time. Question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, hodl
like it's hot.
We'll see you soon. Love you guys.